Okay, this is your volume of rectangular prisms notes page. So had we done this in class, we would have talked a lot about this large B. If you'll remember, I told you to use a small b when we were doing base times height before, because we were going to start using a large B. And that represents the area of the base. Whenever we're talking about rectangular prisms or triangular prisms, we're not going to get into a lot of that this year, just in the way that we're doing things. They will talk to you more about that once you get to 7th grade. So for this year, we're just going to continue on with how you are familiar with finding volume, which is length times width times height. So for each of these, we're just going to be doing volume equals length times width times height. Okay, so for all of them, we're going to start with our formula. We're going to plug in what we have in our shape into our formula. So volume equals length times width times height. That basically means that we're just going to multiply each of these with each other, and commutative property tells us we don't have, it doesn't matter which one we do first. So we're just going to plug them in. 4 times 3 times 2. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 2 is going to give us 24. So the volume is 24 feet. And remember, volume is cubed. Area was squared, but volume has 3 units of measurement, so it is cubed every time. Okay? Next one. Volume equals length times width times height. So we have 10 times 5 times 2. 10 times 5 is 50. Times 2, 50 times 2 is 100, so our volume here is 100 feet cubed. Okay, next one. Again, start with your formula. Volume equals length times width times height. Our width, or let's just count these here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the height is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is going to equal 3 times 4 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. So this one is 36. They don't give us a units, so we just call it generically units cubed. Okay, down here again, volume equals length times width times height. So we've got 4 times 3 times 5. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 5 is 60. This time they give us centimeters, so it's centimeters cubed. Okay, last one here. Volume equals length times width times height. We're going to do these just the same, but they are rational numbers with decimal places, so we will need to probably spend just a little bit more time multiplying them out. Okay, so we're writing each of those down. 5.4 times 3.2 times 1.9. So we'll just off to the side. 5.4 times 3.2. So we're going to take these first two first. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. We're going to scratch with nothing to scratch up here. Lay an egg. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 5 is 15. And 1 is 16. Add all those up. 8, 2, 7, and 1. Come back to your problem. How many places to the right of your decimal? We've got 2. So this is 17 and 28 hundredths times, we still have to multiply it by that last one, 1.9. So when we multiply those out, 17 and 28 hundredths times 1.9. Remember, we don't line up our decimals when we're multiplying them. 8 times 9 is 72. 9 times 2 is 18, and 7 is 25. 9 times 7 is 63, and 2 is 65. 9 times 1 is 9, and 6 is 15. Now we're going to scratch, scratch, and lay an egg. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 1 is 1. We're going to add those up. 5 plus 8 is 13. 1 and 5 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 5 and 7 is 12. And we have 3. Come back up to your problem. We have 1, 2, 3 places to the right of the decimal. And so our volume here is 32 and 832 thousandths centimeters cubed. And there are your notes for finding the volume of a rectangular prism. This one should feel pretty familiar to you. You guys did this a lot last year. Okay?